listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. As we just wrapped up our interview there with Will Seabrook, who was part of the collaboration with the song that we played out there as Spread a Smile, as a YouTube sensation, now 10 million views.
Play it anytime.
Yeah? Oh, okay. Good. Hey, partner, how you doing today?
Oh,
We got Joe in the studio. Yeah, he's on. Good morning, partner. How you doing?
I'm fine, Adam. You're having a heck of a good day today.
Something like that.
A little uplifting.
Yeah.
As you mentioned many times.
Yeah.
Which is good. Yeah, we're coming out of it. We're digging our way out.
We are.
Like the old adjective, whatever. There was a hole in the ground. There was a mule, and the mule fell into the hole. And all the farmers came around. They couldn't figure out how to get this mule out. You've heard this. Look, you're shaking your head. And they said, well, we're just going to have to bury him alive. There's nothing else. And they start throwing dirt on the mule, and the mule would shake it off. He'd look down, and he'd stomp on it. They'd throw more on. He'd shake it off. He'd stomp on it. Before you know it, he stomped out enough dirt, and he jumped out of there.
That's right.
So there you go. That's us. Throw the dirt on us. We're going to stomp on it and get the heck out.
And get the heck out. So, what's the other one?
Where that come from, I don't know, but it came from my mouth.
There's another one. It's from one of my favorite movies.
What are those called?
I don't know, euphemisms or something. There's one that comes from the movie Catch Me If You Can with Leo DiCaprio.
Oh, yes, good movie.
And his dad does it when he was taking his award at the Rotary Club, and then he does it later as he's like, would you like to say grace? And he's like, what was it?
I don't know.
A mouse fell into the butter. Or fell into a thing of milk.
Yeah, and
he kicked his legs and turned it into butter and then walked out or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
We're like we said, little by little, more and more stuff that we're presenting as information to come out to say that hey, we're getting back to having things more open and so forth.
More positive than negative.
Right. Now, as far as the negative goes, it's more of us reporting just on the consequences of what has happened for having a lot of things be closed. And it's even affecting some changes. I mentioned some of the popular, and I've known of them from people who have eaten at them, is the Sweet Tomato chain. They had 97 restaurants.
And they closed them?
And they closed them all.
Sweet Tomato?
Yeah.
There was one, I guess, in the villages.
Yeah. And a lot of that is to the idea that that style of restaurant, because it's buffet or served self-serve, that and it makes you wonder about some of those other buffet type chains like the
Golden Corral,
right? The Golden Corrals and the Ryans and all that. How that comes back into play because that style of restaurant is self-serve, but it's food that's out there.
There's a way around that quote unquote cafeteria style. In other words, you go up with your tray and you walk
somebody
around.
Serves that.
Instead of everybody bussing tables and all this. You walk up and say, I'll take a slice of that, I'll take a slice of that.
Right.
And they put it on the plate and they give it to you.
Right.
You go by as many times as you want and go up, but they just an assembly line. And there are places that used to, years ago, do that. You go in assembly line. Oh, we had one, I don't know, Morrison's right here where the studio is. You walk in, you would walk in, and you go with your tray. Now, I didn't come here when it was here. I went to the one on East Silver Springs Boulevard. I think it was called Piccadilly's back when I went.
Oh, wow.
10 years ago. And you walk in with your tray, and everything is a la carte. So a nickel for a piece of butter, or 10 cents for the bread, or then you get into the meal stuff a little more. So you go through there, and your eyes are usually bigger than your stomach. By the time you sit down, oh boy, what have I done? But with it's the same. It could be the same thing with Golden Corral, where you can go through. Because I went through Macon, Georgia. They have one like a Piccadilly kind of thing, and it was good.
Yeah.
But again, a la carte. Now, if you change it over to Golden Corral style, what's the difference? It's just that it's behind the counter. You're not making a horseshoe. You know, people cutting in front of each other.
Right.
So you just
and those, I'm sure. I wonder because there's got to be some things that have to adapt, and I wonder if those ideas are in the works. If you will.
You think about it, the food trays are there.
Yeah.
They're already there. So you just realign them, and you have to put plexiglass in front, so they can only be served from the back.
Yeah.
There you go. Here you go, Pilgrim. lower the tops down, so you can see, but you can't get into them.
Yeah.
And they just put the plates on top. Just grab the plate and put it on your
There you
tray.
go.
Hey, we're still in business.
Do you ever eat it prior to all of this? Did you ever eat there often, Golden Corral? Or
Not this one in town.
No.
No, this one had bad marks for me, but I have other places.
Yeah.
That I've been to.
Growing up, we used to do those type of places. You know, it's affordable. It's a family. Go eat as much as you want.
Sure.
Everybody gets an opportunity to pick. But no, as we got older, no thanks. No.
Well, it depends where you're now. Where they are located and how they're run. The name might be on there, but when you get inside, the crew is different, the atmosphere is different, the cleanliness is different. So you have to pick and choose where you go. And they have one in, I think it's Orion's,
Yeah.
Asheville, North Carolina.
Yeah, that's
area.
another. That's another one. Yep.
And there was like, oh, this is nice,
Yeah.
clean, neat, okay. And I've been to other ones that went,
Yeah.
So you go in there, pick your food. I paid my money, I got to eat, and then never go back. They call that the silent customer.
Yeah.
They don't say anything, they don't complain, they just don't come back.
What's always been interesting about those is just like how much people eat when they go there too.
Well,
That's
they want to
another
get their
thing.
dollars worth,
Yeah.
Well, let's see, Washington. There's a Washington, North Carolina. I think it's Washington, North Carolina. It was just outside of Wilmington,
Okay.
and it was a motorcycle rally. We went down there, and coming on the way back home. We stopped. It was an overnight thing, and we went to. I think it was I don't know, Golden Corral, Ryan's, whatever. But it was that type of restaurant, and this mom and her son walked in. They were both approximately 6 foot and change high.
Okay.
And approximately 4 foot wide.
Okay.
I mean, these were big people. And they didn't walk, they walked. And walked. They didn't wobble, they walked. Vroom, vroom, vroom. And I could just see the manager going, there goes half my food. And they I lost count of how many times they went up.
Is that right?
Ate, and because you only get so much on a plate.
That's right.
And they would get so much, and it looked like a nice small
mountain
volcano. Yeah,
nice volcano. Yeah, it's volcano because then the mac and cheese is up in the middle.
Yeah, they put the potatoes and everything goes in the middle of it. And all of a sudden, 5 minutes later, he's up again. Where did that go so fast?
Wow.
And he just walked. And nice people, don't get me wrong, but they were just big
eaters.
Oh yeah.
What's interesting is, like I said, growing up, we used to do a lot of the buffets, brunch buffets, and stuff like that for family events or like holidays and stuff.
Yeah.
And I got into a system where it's like I would go up often, but like my uncles, they're big fellas, and they would pile the plate, and I'm like, I couldn't sit down and think to myself, because I would always a big plate of food like that. I'm like, I got to get through all of this, because I grew up with like, hey, you got to clean the plate.
You don't leave anything on your plate.
You don't leave anything on your plate,
which is true.
So as I would go up there, then I would always have a system to it. Like where I started would always be like, okay, start with salads and soups, and then make the plate look nice with some of the hors d'oeuvre types with the shrimp or whatever, and then move on to like entree style, make it look nice on the plate but not overwhelming, and then by the end I've made my 5th trip, but it's now time for the desserts, the bread puddings and the frozen custards and the little pieces of cake and fruit and stuff like that. So I had a system to it, and every time I remember coming back to the table with a plate with not very much food on, they're like, well, it's not very much food. Aren't you hungry? And it's like, yeah, I am, but I don't have to make a mountain on the plate and try to clear it out.
I'm young. I can make more than one trip.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt getting up again.
There's nothing wrong with burning some calories going back every now and then.
Yeah. Growing up, we didn't do, everything was home cooked.
Yeah.
We didn't do buffets, no.
Yeah.
We did go to restaurants once in a while. And of course, Pepe's Pizza. Everybody knows Pepe's Pizza and Modern Abits. I shouldn't say pizza, Pepe's Abits, with the A in front of it, Abits. And that is a style of the region from Italy.
Oh, okay.
It's dialect.
Gotcha.
So it's Abits. It's the only place in the United States that calls it Abits, and there's only 3. You got Sally's, Abitz, Pepe's Abitz, and Modern Abitz.
Interesting.
And Pepe's and Sally's are about a block apart on the same road.
Yeah.
And Modern Abitz is on State Street, and that's about half a mile away, maybe. Not even.
Yeah.
That's where I grew up.
Yeah.
I grew up 2.5 blocks from Modern Abitz. Never thought of anything. You go in there and you eat and you leave. Now it's like, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, and
Yeah.
they're doing reports on it and who owns it now. Because I'm not Pepe's, but Modern Abitz, the father that started it, I knew him when I was a kid. And
Oh, yeah.
But
Because
they're
you grew
all
up with
gone
family
now.
and stuff. Yep. Yeah, they're all gone because they've gotten older.
But the recipes ever handed down, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Pepe's, Pepe's is the same generation,
Yeah.
their generation. The mind to the mouth, to the taste buds, and it's okay. Where is it?
And it's that time. It's coming up on 11. It's just like,
where's it?
It's almost lunchtime.
Now, a lot of them, I understand, are freezing them and shipping them.
Oh, is that right?
Them. Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
It's like $10 a pie.
Okay. Well, because you're paying for what they have to do to prep that and get that ready and everything else.
I haven't heard Pepe's.
Is it frozen before it's baked? Is it frozen and then you put it in the oven?
I haven't.
I wonder. Because wouldn't that be a little bit easier?
Well, they had around here that didn't
better?
last. Papa Murphy's.
Papa Murphy's.
And that was
freezing them, but they were taking it home to put in the oven. Yeah.
Well, it was all prepared, but it wasn't cooked.
Right.
So they had one here, a block away from the studio here. They had another one in Bellevue.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah, I know.
Well, the people don't do it. If they don't partake,
right?
It's good. They just don't partake. Now, on the way up to North Carolina to visit family, in Georgia, can't think of the town, Montgomery. It was a college town, small college town, just before Athens, and go through the town, and there's a Papa Murphy's. I found it and everything. It's near a college.
Oh, yeah. There's the demographic right there.
I went in there, and the night before I called, I ordered everything, and it wasn't there when I got there because they got overwhelmed. I said, yeah, but I ordered it. It's supposed to be ready. Well, you're driving, you're on a time, so 20 minutes is a long time just sitting and go, where you could be on the road. Yeah. So
I like that. It goes back to the Seinfeld. I reserved the car. It's like, well, sir, we don't have any more cars. You're just gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to do something else. It's like, well, no, I called and made a reservation, or I called and ordered that
car. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, well, yeah, but sir, you don't understand. He's like, no, I get it. I called to make the reservation, and you should have the car here. Yeah.
You don't get it. I paid.
Yeah.
I put the reservation.
Yeah.
That car should be sitting here empty, waiting for me.
Yeah.
Not putting it in somebody else's hands. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was the other thing. I paid in advance.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah. So everything was paid for. All I had to do was go
pick it up.
Well, it wasn't ready. They apologized up and down and everything. They give me an extra pie, but they,
Now, I did do Papa Murphy's a few times when it was over here, and every time I was in there, it was pretty crowded. But I'm wondering if that's because it had only been open. It was a novelty because it was brand new, and then over time, it just kind of fell off. I'll tell you this: I kind of enjoyed the idea of getting the pizza, because then you could still run around, do some errands, or if things took a little bit longer when you were doing something else to pick up maybe the sodas or the beers or whatever, you were going to get home to then put it in the oven, and it was going to be hot and ready.
20 minutes later, you got yourself a pizza.
And it's not like trying to do all that and then get the pizza and then get home, and then it cools down, so to speak.
My son-in-law
right
loves those. He lives in South Carolina, and I was going to go visit them, and they closed the one that was, now from him, it was like 20-minute ride, and it was worth it to him, because he had the double stuff, double this, whatever it was.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
And I asked his wife, what he likes, and so when I stopped in Georgia, I got two of them.
Oh, yeah.
And I had those freezer packs. You put them in, and I just turned the air conditioner on in the truck and packed them in there, and they stood cold till I got up there, and was it 4 hours later?
And then when you got there, you surprised me. You're like, hey, preheat the oven.
Preheat the oven. Here we go. Hey! Kind of thing.
That's pretty cool.
That was
thoughtful, Manny. That's awesome.
And of course, I had a slice or two myself,
And speaking of pizza, I've been going back and forth a little bit. Lately, I've been loving just simple cheese pizza. I don't know what it is, but I was going to ask you, what is your favorite toppings on a pizza? What's your go-to? Just pepperoni?
That's my main. If I get pepperoni and sausage, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't go. If you put pineapples on, out the door. You don't talk to me. Pineapples do not belong on a pizza. No. If you want it on a pizza, you get pepperoni, you get mozzarella, you get sausage maybe. Sometimes they have the white clams they put it. That's a famous one.
Yeah,
Pepe's
I've
is
heard of that. The white clams, yeah.
But abits, it should, the sauce, and of course the sauce, and then they have the oils.
Yeah.
So you got the sauce, the oils, but the oil is the last thing to go on the top, and that's the seasoning. There's a seasoning. There's a special seasoning that me not tell you what that seasoning is. No, down the generation they try to get it out of. No, I'm not going to tell you what that seasoning is. That's my seasoning. You not touch, and nobody knows what it is. But it's from generation, and they'll come in the next morning. Here's your pot of seasoning. Well, who made it? I made it. You don't make it, because if you make it, you know. Hey, nowadays I don't trust nobody. You know, and boom, and it gets done.
Now, like I said, lately I don't know what it is, but a cheese pizza. I guess
Just
because
cheese, double cheese or just
just regular cheese.
do you have
the simplicity of it.
Now this new thing, stuff the crust. It's like
that's too much. That's too
I like
much.
a thin pizza.
Yeah, you like a thin pizza?
And everybody gets a pizza.
I do every once in a while.
If it's thin and it's cooked right, you should be able to slice a wedge out of it. You sit funny when you eat it, though. You wedge out of it, then you grab it and you put your pointing finger in the middle and your thumb and your naughty finger, and you crush it.
Yeah.
And it makes a V, and it stays straight, and then you eat your pizza.
Eat your pizza. Now,
with the fork and the knife on it. I see people, I'm going to eat the pizza, and they get the fork and the knife. I'm going, that's not a piece of cake. It's pizza. One slice, slap it, and boom, and it's gone.
Now, usually I like a lot, like a Supreme. I love a lot of everything on it.
Or meat. Put the meat on.
Put the meat. A lot of vegetables. I like a lot of vegetables on it.
Okay.
So a lot of times I'll just do like sausage and green pepper, and then sometimes like I said, get the onions, get the diced tomatoes, full 9 yards. So like you said, I've heard that before. Now I know you're Italian, so the idea is with the fork and the knife is apropos. But let me ask you this: have you ever had the deep dish pizza, like Chicago deep dish style?
Yeah, I've eaten pizza. and all the way across the United States, I've eaten pizza.
And I feel like that's a love it or hate it for a lot of people. Do you like it?
It is. You like it? It is more. Well, lots is all crust, a lot of crust.
Yeah.
But it's more. How should I put? It's more oily.
It is. It's greasier. Yeah.
It's greasy. Well, it's oil. It's not grease.
Yeah.
Grease is what you get on donuts and all that. They put them in oil. That's oil. Grease is white. That's olive coloring. Oh yeah. Those are hard to eat without a fork, because there's a lot and it falls all around.
Yeah, exactly.
But you get to the point, then you can pick it up.
Yeah, which I do. Like that was one of the best parts. You start with a fork, you get to the back part.
12-inch round?
Yeah.
And it's about
2 inches, I think, are on average. Yeah. 2 inches deep.
But then you get it and they cut it. They make an X, basically.
Yeah.
So, and there's your 4 pieces.
And it's like, it's really only 4 pieces, yeah.
And then they get that little spatula. This little jet. You scoop it on and there's your piece. And you put it on your plate and you go, so am I going to eat all that? And then you start. But that is a different. Then fork in that, I would say.
And I say, like I said, I think a lot of people either love or hate it. And I heard somebody was arguing with me about it. They're like, deep dish pizza. You mean basically baked lasagna just with bread? And I was like, well, no. And they're like, well, with cheese, the sauce, the only thing that's different is the bread instead of noodles.
No.
I was no, it's different.
There's some places that are bypassing the bread and putting all the ingredients in a pan.
Oh, gross.
A small pan about the size of a...
No crust?
No crust. No bread whatsoever.
So what is it? It's just cheese, sauce?
It's all the mixing of all the ingredients are in there. It's about the size of a bread pan.
Oh, it sounds
And all
gross.
the ingredients are in there without the bread. So you got all your sausage, all your mozzarella, you got your peppers, your onions. All that's in there is mixed. So it's a baked. Yeah, it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
People don't, like myself, I don't like a lot of bread.
Sure.
But I cheat when I eat the pizza because there's bread on it.
And at the end of the day, logically, I'm I'm going to eat pizza, so if I don't really care for bread much, at least I know that I'm going to eat it with bread.
I love bread.
Yes.
I don't want to eat bread.
Don't eat bread.
Because bread
But if you know you're going to have a pizza.
It loves my butt, it loves my sides, it loves my thighs, it loves my inner thighs, it loves my stomach. Oh, yeah, bread loves me.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite. One of my favorite comedians goes when he talks about people ordering dessert. It's like, I have a bit of a sweet tooth. Yeah, what's going straight to your butt?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
but you did it for your tooth. That's awesome.
It's okay, but it's all behind me now.
I've got a bit of a sweet tooth. Oh, so you're doing it for your tooth? Well, it's going straight to your butt.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, your tooth. But I tell you, it might be good for you, and it might taste good, but you're gonna be walking around with a little extra weight on you now.
And am I right when it comes to those things? At the end of the day, everything in moderation.
That's it.
Right.
That's it.
If you noticed, we were talking last week, Joe, you get a kick out of this. I don't know if you were listening at that point, but it was brought up in the news, kind of one of those good news sounding things where a woman who is 104 years old survived COVID-19. She got through it and was coming out the hospital being discharged.
Yeah.
And the reason that it was so exciting was that she actually lived obviously through the Spanish flu too with her age.
Oh, there's a lot of flus, yeah.
Right. So she lived through 2 of those. And then on the article that I had that I was reading, she went through a lot of different stuff. She had
polio.
Going through Spanish flu, going through polio and all that, lived through those eras, but she herself had a form of cancer that she beat. She had polyps in her colon that she got through and all this stuff. Yeah. And 104 years old, and you know as well as I do, the media loves that because then hey, what's the secret to the longevity? Yeah. And most people pretty much just say anything in moderation and have a glass of wine or whiskey once in a while.
Wine's good for you.
And with that note, as we come to the top of the 11 o'clock hour, thanks for sharing, Joe. Appreciate it, buddy.
Nice to be here.
And AM Ocala Live, good Wednesday. Tomorrow we got even a better day for you. Thursday, stay tuned. And until tomorrow, goodbye.
Federal Reserve Jerome Powell says there's very little chance the Federal Reserve Board